Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. If you run a commercial kitchen, manage a portfolio of short-term rentals, or oversee literally any busy facility, you already know the feeling. That moment the health inspector walks in with their clipboard, it can be incredibly daunting. But today we're going to completely demystify the world of janitorial chemicals. Our goal here is simple: to help you build a brilliantly efficient, fully compliant, and always inspection-ready facility. By understanding exactly what products you actually need and where they belong, you can stop guessing and start running a much tighter, safer operation. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a logical path through your facility today. First, the inspection-ready facility. Then, hand hygiene fundamentals, breaking down the grime, the final sanitization step, equipping your mobile staff, and finally, smart stocking and compliance.
All right, starting right at the front door with Section 1, the inspection-ready facility.
Whether you're an Airbnb host over in Ontario or managing a massive property in Alberta, passing an inspection really boils down to a high-level framework. One that actually works without overcomplicating your daily routine. And that framework rests on just 3 core essentials. You absolutely need hand hygiene for your staff, surface detergents to actually remove the physical soil, and sanitizers to control pathogens. That is it, the whole shebang. Keeping your lineup strictly focused on these 3 categories is the secret to reducing cross-contamination risks and keeping your inspection records pristine. You don't need 20 different mystery bottles shoved under a sink. You just need these 3 essentials doing their specific jobs perfectly. Moving right along to Section 2, Hand Hygiene Fundamentals. So this is your very first line of defense. It's all about setting up hygiene stations that your staff will actually use, right at those critical entry points and prep stations. And to break the chain of contamination, the chemistry has to be right. When we're talking about alcohol-based gels, they require a 70% alcohol content to effectively meet Health Canada guidelines for pathogen reduction. This is an absolute must in high-turnover roles like fast-paced kitchens where people are constantly moving between tasks. If it's not hitting that 70% mark, it's just not doing the heavy lifting your facility requires. Now, we really have to match the product format to the environment. On one side of the coin, you've got alcohol gels. These are phenomenal for those high-turnover food prep zones because they dry so fast. But on the flip side, consider non-alcohol foams. These are absolute lifesavers for environments with poor ventilation, strict flammability rules, or for staff who get sensitive skin from washing their hands all day long. Plus, foam clings to hands better, which means way less dripping on your freshly mopped floors. The takeaway here, both gel and foam have a perfectly valid, necessary place within the exact same building. Actually, listen to this feedback from David Kay, an Airbnb host out in Ontario. He mentions that mounted dispensers look sharp. They make the refill schedule predictable, and his team loves not wrestling with loose bottles. And he hits the nail on the head. Countertop bottles tip over, they leak, and frankly, they walk away. Wall-mounted dispensers, like the Certainty foam system, control portion sizes and clear up all that countertop clutter. They train your staff to use just the right amount without overpouring, which saves you serious money over a counter. One quick rule of thumb, though. Gel pumps need gel refills and foam dispensers need foam. Do not mix those up or you're going to have a very messy problem. All right, let's look at Section 3, breaking down the grime. Moving from hands to surfaces, commercial kitchens generate some heavy soil that standard home products just can't touch. You need targeted chemistry. Cooking oils and protein films, those require alkaline detergents to literally break those stubborn bonds. On the other hand, if you're fighting hard water mineral scale, you need acidic products. And here is a massive tip from the field for you. Always, always dilute concentrates to their exact label strength. People constantly think, oh, stronger is better. No way. Overpouring just wastes your expensive product, leaves a sticky residue everywhere, and can genuinely cause safety issues for your team. To solve that exact overpouring problem, take it from Margaret H., a property manager in Alberta. She switched her properties to a closed-loop system, specifically the Diversey D10 J-Fill. The result? Her staff completely stopped guessing at mix ratios, and her inspection scores shot up within just 2 quarters. Closed-loop systems connect concentrated chemicals directly to a dispenser that perfectly dilutes it with water automatically. Plus, a tiny 2.5-liter J-Fill concentrate bottle equals entire cases of ready-to-use spray. It drastically reduces the footprint in your cramped backrooms. Just a huge win for both storage and compliance. Which brings us to Section 4, the final sanitization step. Honestly, this is easily the most misunderstood part of facility maintenance. The crucial point is understanding the difference between your 2 main players here. Detergents remove the visible soil, grease, and organic matter. Sanitizers reduce invisible microorganisms down to safe levels. They are partners, not replacements for one another. You have to know that organic matter literally deactivates most sanitizers. So if you spray sanitizer onto a counter that's still covered in baking grease, you are completely wasting the product and just giving yourself a false sense of security. Health inspectors are actively watching for this exact 1-2 punch process. Step 1. Clean the visible soil away with the detergent. Step 2. Apply the sanitizer to that now clean surface. And step 3, and this is where almost everyone fails, leave it visibly wet for the required contact time. If you just spray and immediately wipe it off, you've really only moved the product around. You haven't actually killed the organisms. So what is that contact time? Well, it generally ranges from 1 to 10 minutes, depending entirely on the specific product and the pathogen you're targeting. You have got to read the label. Wiping a surface too early leaves live pathogens behind. You want that surface to stay visibly wet for the full duration to ensure it is actually doing its job. Now, what if you're just incredibly short on time? Jennifer T., a facility operator out in BC, found a brilliant solution using an iodine detergent sanitizer combo product. Formulas like the Diversity Adage 2 actually combine the cleaning and sanitizing steps into a single pass. These are an absolute game changer for operations with limited training time and predictable soil types. It lets you move faster without cutting corners on those strict health standards. Next up, Section 5, Equipping Your Mobile Staff. Let's be real, not everyone in your facility is standing still at a kitchen prep counter. We've got to think about housekeeping carts, delivery drivers, and maintenance crews. The stationary prep cook uses a wall-mounted 1-liter fixed dispenser right there at elbow height. But your mobile housekeeper or driver? They're touching shared elevator buttons and door handles all day long. They need a 2-ounce pocket-sized option, like the Defense Hand Sanitizer Gel or the St. Augustine Distributed Spray. These easily clip onto utility belts or slide into pockets. Just a quick pro tip, though. Make sure those pocket bottles have incredibly secure caps. Because trust me, a leak inside a uniform pocket will ruin a shift instantly. And finally, Section 6, Smart Stocking and Compliance. So how do you actually buy all this stuff to stay ready for health audits without tying up all your cash and extra inventory? Think of this breakdown as your ultimate cheat sheet. You can literally just look at your operational need and match it to the chemistry. Need high turnover hand hygiene? Go with alcohol gel. Dealing with sensitive skin or flammability rules? Grab the non-alcohol foam. Need to stop staff from wasting chemicals on heavy grease? Get the J-Fill system. Want a fast, single-step clean? Reach for the iodine detergent. This guarantees you're buying exactly what you need and nothing you don't. When it comes to ordering, match your case quantities to your actual consumption rate. If you're running a high-volume hotel, a 24-pack of Bios Gel makes total sense. But if you're managing a smaller portfolio of Airbnbs, a 12-pack of Avmore is way smarter. Don't just buy a mountain of bulk products because it looks cheaper. Chemicals actually do expire. Also, try to maintain consistent brand chemistry. When an inspector asks for your safety protocols, having a unified system from one supplier makes your record-keeping a breeze. Oh, and review your usage quarterly, because seasonal turnover will definitely shift your consumption patterns. Speaking of suppliers, staying compliant means your stock actually has to arrive on time and on budget. Sourcing from a reliable Canadian supplier like Chicken Pieces means you get same-day dispatch from their Calgary warehouse on stock orders. Plus, they calculate shipping on live carrier rates based on actual weight and distance. They aren't hiding shipping fees by artificially inflating the unit prices. That kind of transparency is fantastic for keeping facility budgets tight, ensuring those crucial formulas are always on the shelf right when you need them. So, we've walked all the way from the front door to the supply closet. And I want to leave you with one final critical question to think about. Are your facility's chemicals truly inspection ready? Seriously, take a walk through your own building today. Look at those hand hygiene stations, check how your staff is diluting the detergents, and time their sanitizer contact steps. Optimizing this 3-tier lineup doesn't just save you a ton of money, it protects your staff, your guests, and your peace of mind. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Now get out there and absolutely crush your next health inspection.